Welcome to Radio Mayapur. Today is very hot, almost 40 degrees. The Ganges is flowing. The sky is clear. The sun is wonderful. It's burning your skin, but it's good. Vitamin D, they say. Take a little sun every day. But anyway, we're very fortunate to be in Mayapur because it's the holiest place in the universe. Lord Chaitanya appeared here 500 years ago to bless one and all. And Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Tagore was here with a dream. He saw a vision where all the microphone, put it a little more close to you. It should be like this distance, yeah. Okay. So then, Bhaktivinoda Tagore saw a beautiful temple where all the people from all over the world will come and chant and dance in ecstasy. It's happening. Of course, we have some glitch and some problem, but we're working on it.
Of course.
We're a work in progress. So today we're very fortunate to have with us VrajaVinod Shyam, who was born in Salem in 1979. And he went to St. Joseph's School, he became MBA, MTech, he works in this and that, whatever, mechanic engineering, and then he did MBA. So we're very fortunate to be with him. He's also the CFO.
Yes.
CFO means what?
Chief Financial Officer.
Chief Financial Officer. Today we're going to know all the money where he's keeping black, white, or whatever it is. We don't know. No, I'm joking. Okay, anyway, welcome to Radio Mayapur.
Thank you very much.
I see you every day in the gym. We are doing some exercise, not together, but okay, in the same place. Yeah. We are both trying to lose some weight, but it's very difficult at this stage. I always say, the only way I can lose weight is to stop eating.
My friends say that you go to the gym regularly, but it doesn't look like it's working on you. It looks like you just go and, pay some obeisances and then come back.
No, you tell him. If I give you one slap, I'll make you fly. You should tell him. And it's nice to have you with us today. It's a beautiful day. And so tell us a little bit about your background, your family. You grew up in Salem?
No, I was just born there because my mother is from Salem.
Okay.
We are basically Kannada-speaking Madhva family, but my grandfather settled down in Salem for his work.
What work was he doing?
He was a civil engineering professor. Okay. So he was
professor. He was teaching in university or
in a polytechnic in Salem.
Yeah.
So he was teaching there. So for his work, he settled down in Salem,
which is a nice place.
Very nice place. If you don't want to regard the heat. It's a fantastic place.
That's the only thing in South that's really hot.
It's known for its steel, it's known for its movie theaters, known for its roads, buses, and of course, my grandparents' house is there. So that is what it is known for me. So because my grandfather settled down there, my mother studied there. And when she got married back in Maysour, but I was born there because generally in India, the women go back to the parents' house to deliver the baby.
Nice.
So I was born there.
Nice.
And I used to spend my summer holidays in Salem. That's my connection to Salem.
That's beautiful.
But I always tell my life story in a single phrase. Sure. Born in Salem, brought up in Mysore, spoilt in Bangalore, resurrected in Dubai. This is my story.
Well, I remember Salem the first time we went, in 1981, so Sankirtan party from Mayapur, with some Swami, and with the devotee, we went and distribute books. Mm-hmm. And there is a famous steel company. What is it called?
Salem Steel?
No, steel, but I don't remember. But it's a very famous big factory. I don't remember what it's called. And I forgot the name, but we had a program inside the company. Okay. They call us to give lecture. They have a small temple,
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. Anyway, it was a beautiful place. I went again. Now it's become very crowded. At the time, it was very peaceful and very nice. But I love South Indian because people are more cultured and very nice people.
You got married to one, so you must love South India for sure.
Yeah, of course. I was also temple president there for many years in Chennai. So I absorbed the culture and I love the culture of South India. So then you end up in Dubai, you say?
Yeah, so once I did my...
Mysore, you went there, you grew up in Mysore.
I grew up completely.
Beautiful. Mysore is also another beautiful, extremely beautiful place.
Before coming into Krishna consciousness, I thought that my veins doesn't have blood, it just has Mysore in it. So that much how I am Mysorean. So Mysore is really close to my heart
It's beautiful.
because I grew up, all my memories, mostly my younger days is there.
Yeah.
My schooling, my intermediate college, my engineering, everything is in Mysore. Even my MBA for that matter. So after that, only for work, I moved to Bangalore. And
You're working in which company?
it was a company called Feedback Business Consulting.
Okay.
It was my first job out of campus. And then I worked for another company called Markelytics. Then from there, I went to Dubai for work. And when I went to Dubai in 2011, that is when I was introduced to serious Krishna consciousness. I was, of course, introduced to the temple in 2009
Mhm.
by my friend. It was a funny time, we were just roaming around, and then
In Dubai?
in Bangalore.
In Bangalore, okay.
And my friend said, "Come, I'll get you free khichdi." So for free khichdi, me and my wife and my friends, we all went.
Which place it was?
This was Sri Jagannath Mandir, Bangalore.
Okay, Jagannath Mandir,
That is
yeah.
basically Sheshadripuram.
Sheshadripuram.
So it's called ISJM, ISKCON Sri Jagannath Mandir.
Yeah.
So there, you know how devotees are. When they see new faces, they heated up the khichdi,
Yeah.
they welcomed
Nice.
nicely, they put some ghee on the khichdi and they gave it to us.
Beautiful.
So lovely.
What an experience.
Yeah, and especially when your palates are not used to tasting prasadam on a regular basis, and that to high quality Jagannath prasad, served with love and ghee.
Very
So
attractive.
it's like Jagannath gave you khichdi, and while you wanted to take the khichdi, he just held your hand and got you inside. That's a simple story of we getting introduced to prasadam.
Yeah.
And so for prasadam, we went once, and then again, my wife said, "Can we go for the khichdi again?" And then next Sunday we were there. And then Sunday program, we did not know that there was a Sunday program. So it was a grand program, many people. And we were like, wow, so many things happen. We were like just basically going from work to home to work.
Yeah.
No other activities much. Of course, Friday nights, go for a movie, things like that. So when we were introduced to this fresh breath of air, I like, wow, this is something different. And then we started going more regularly, no chanting, only for prasad. And we used to go exactly at lunchtime, just before lunchtime. They used to sing this Jagannath Ashtakam.
Nice.
And then after the Jagannath Ashtakam, used to be the Narsimha prayers and prasad. We used to land exactly at Jagannath Ashtakam time.
Fantastic.
We knew. So we had planned it like that. After a few days, that one brahmachari said, why don't you just start chanting one round? Not take more time, just 7 minutes. So you know how it is. You've done it to many people. So like that, we started chanting, and then little Bhagavad Gita first. Yeah, and then Prabhupada gets into your life.
Yeah, but the thing is that you feel some spirituality and you feel something in your heart. I mean, by taking prasadam also.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, in 74 or 75, I took prasadam in Rome. I saw the Sankirtan party.
Mm.
And one lady come with a basket and say,
Mm.
you want some cake? You want some biscuit? Yeah. It was so delicious. And,
Oh, yeah.
that plant in the heart, in seed in your
Yes,
heart, and
yes.
then you start to like it. And
Mm.
also, somehow or another, you feel like, okay, I had to do something. There is something which I had to discover more. And the body, they're very tricky. You just chant one round. It's nothing. They are like, Trivirkram, I only want 3 steps of land. I don't ask anyone. No, I can give you more. No. I just want 3 steps of land. You just chant 7 minutes. And then slowly you get into the whole Krishna consciousness, which is blissful, which is very nice. And we're still here, so.
After that, only 7 minutes is left for yourself. The rest of the day is taken by Krishna.
So that was your contact to
That was
Krishna
my first
consciousness.
contact. But the serious contact, I mean, of course, I was. I started going into the temple, attending Bhakti Vriksha, little.
Once a week?
Once a week. Once.
Once in 15 days?
Once in 15 days or like something like that. Yeah, once in a week, I think.
Yeah.
Then started chanting 1 or 2 rounds a day. Sundays, 16. Start going to the temple more regularly. So just sit there and chant. And then I got an opportunity to go to Dubai. Dubai being an Islamic country, I thought, that's it. No more Krishna consciousness. It was fun. It was nice. Okay, now let's make money.
Yeah.
So we went to Dubai. On day one, when we went into our apartment, we kept our bags and we wanted to go out and have something to eat. It was already late. We came down by the lift, and then while we were getting out of a lift, and another person was just getting into the lift, and in that split second, I saw Tilak on his face. I said, "Wow, ISKCON devotee in
They're
Dubai,
also, yeah.
and in my apartment." And then I said, "Hare Krishna," and he impulsively said, "Hare Krishna," and he stood. He missed the lift, and we stood there and we spoke for like 45 minutes to an hour right outside the lift. We were so excited, me and my wife both. We were excited to see a devotee.
Naturally.
And then we spoke for 1 hour. We missed our dinner. He missed his lift. I probably got scolded by his wife for coming late. But it so happened that the devotee took care of us from day one. Always took us to the programs. There was a program happening in the area where I was staying, Gisais. So there was a yatra called Gauranga Desh Yatra.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to always take us by his car, and every Friday morning we used to do Mangalarti in his house.
What was his name?
His name is Harilila Prabhu.
Hari Lila Prabhu. I did interview with him also.
Is that-
We did a podcast.
So we consider him to be our Shiksha Guru, the first person who actually gave us some seriousness in our direction of Krishna consciousness.
Nice.
So after getting introduced to him,
You met Sri
Going for-
Vallabha and all the other devotees.
of course, Srila Prabhu was from a different, farther yatra. It's called Damodar Desh Yatra.
Sri
But ours is
Vallabha
a-
Prabhu, he was small like this. When
Yes.
I met his father and mother in Chennai, they invited me for a program in their house.
Yeah.
And Sri Vallabha and his brother were there. I say to Mr. Mani at the time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
say, why don't you give me one of your sons? He said, no, they're studying, they have to work, this, that. Then eventually they both become devotees.
Yeah.
But this Sri Vallabha's father was very, very
Yes.
knowledgeable person. He reminded me a lot of Prabhupada
Mm.
because he was very serious and he knew all the Bhagavad Gita slogan by heart.
Yeah.
He collect all the children from the street, take them to their home,
Yeah.
make them chant and
Yes.
give them prasadam almost every day.
His
it was-
stories are
it
told
was
even now in Dubai.
Amazing
Yeah,
personality.
yeah.
And eventually both Sri Vallabha and what's his
Nandu
name,
Prabhu.
Nandu, they both become wonderful devotees
Yes.
and they're still there and I'm so happy. So anyhow, yeah, it's amazing to see that in Dubai, for example, like you say, Islamic country,
Mhm.
but then also the devotees are those people who work there, who are Hindu or whatever background they come, are from India, let's say,
Yeah.
they find their path to spiritual life because they're isolated. It's not that they cannot go to the mosque. There is some temple,
Mm.
there's some Ganesh temple, Shiva temple here and there.
Yes.
But it's not like like being in India. It's like being out of India in another country
Mm.
where there is no your culture, no your religion. You feel like, okay, let me discover my culture. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So that's my experience.
When I was back in Mysore or in South India or any part of India for that matter, we have almost like 2 temples in a street,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
every
yeah,
house
everywhere,
has its own,
everywhere.
have their own altars and things like that. But when you go to a place where the very basic cultural connect is not available, that is when you start feeling the void.
Yeah.
You miss something after having lost the opportunity to be with it. That's
Yeah, but
almost true for
The thing
everything.
is that you take it for granted,
Yes. Yes.
It's like the first time I went with my wife for honeymoon to Rome, where I grew up. My wife said, hey, let's go and see this. What is this? A Colosseum. I said, what? I've never been in a Colosseum. This is for tourists, No, I want to go and see. I said, okay, let's go and see. Then I said, oh, let's go and see St. Peter Church. Who go to St. Peter Church? Only tourists go. So then, then you start to rediscover your own place and your own culture. So it's like that.
Yeah. It so happened, you're right, when we were growing up in Mysore, Mysore is famous for the Mysore Palace.
Yeah, beautiful. But you never went there. You
Hardly.
see from outside.
Hardly. We used to sit outside.
Yes.
Friends used to sit outside the palace,
Yeah.
chit chat, have a cup of tea or have something to munch, and then go back home.
Yeah.
Never enter. So
And the
like that.
famous temple is there of Meenakshi temple is there?
Not in Mysore.
No, there is.
That's Chamundi Hills.
That's Chamundi, okay.
Yeah, it's
But in
Mysore,
Mysore
basically.
there is also some famous temple is there also.
There are famous
There are
temples.
famous temple, I remember.
The most
I
famous
don't
is the
remember.
Chamundi Hills
Chamundi,
temple.
yeah.
Chamundi is Durga.
Beautiful. So anyway, this is a wonderful story. And so what inspired you to come to Mayapur? Now from Dubai, you jump to Mayapur. There's a big jump. Yeah.
So 2011, when we went to Dubai, we started going for these programs. First, we got impressed with Harila Prabhu's way of life, and we generally get impressed by your Shiksha Guru.
Yeah.
So me and my wife, I remember very vividly, we asked, "Do you give initiation? Can we take initiation from you?" So, and then he's explained, no, initiation doesn't happen like that. So you have to find a proper guru who initiates, etc., etc. So we were like impressed by his purity, his
Honesty.
talks, his honesty. So when we were getting very comfortable with his company and the company of devotees, then he threw a bomb saying that in a year he's already planning to go from Dubai. I said, wow, we just came and you're leaving? How can we be there without you? So
Yeah.
we're like, then he said, no, I've already planned. I have a son who's 11 years old and I have to put him into Gurukul.
Yeah.
And I have to go to a place called Mayapur. I said, what's there in Mayapur? I said, it's a good place. So he introduced me us to in theory, in words.
Which year it was this?
2011. 2012, he had already planned to come. His resignation was done. Everything was done. He was just the last 1 year of his stay. And that time we went. Incidentally, the day we went for the first time to the program, that was the last day of the program for Ramanipati Prabhu. He was going back to India for good. So he gave the class that day. So these kind of devotees association. Then we asked, where is he going? He was supposed to go to Chennai, but then he moved to Mayapur. And so slowly we started understanding what Mayapur is. And we were brought to Mayapur first time in 2012 by another devotee called Vrindarandini Mataji and Sudama Prabhu.
Yeah.
Gopijanavala Prabhu was the one who organized the trip in Puri. From
Nice.
Puri we came. First day we went to Mangalarati. I did not know about any deities of what was there in Mayapur. So I just came blind and just like a tourist spot.
Yeah,
So somehow we were made to stand right in the front by some mercy of some devotees. And then the conch blew, and then when they opened the screen, wow, Radha Madhav were like staring at me
So
like this.
beautiful.
And so like, wow, kind of a moment. And then we moved to the other altar, is like huge Panchatattva deities. So we're like absolutely flabbergasted with the beauty of the deities, which even now I sincerely believe that there is nobody who can match the beauty of a Radha Madhav.
Absolutely. I keep on telling
And
my wife the same thing. The
And
Radha Madhava or
Panchatattva.
Radha Madhava very special. There is no deity around the world which is more beautiful.
So that first trip, which was the trip with my parents and with other devotees, created some kind of an attachment to Mayapur, and more so because Harila Prabhu was supposed to come here and things like that. And we started coming again and again. And
You were still working in Dubai.
Yes, I was still working in Dubai. And from Dubai, we moved to Mumbai in 2016. So, but then at that time we were already initiated and stuff. So we started coming to, and by the time in 2013 or so, we already decided that we'll retire in Mayapur. No plans of when, but we said we'll retire in Mayapur. And so slowly started building towards it, bought a house in Mayapur, and eventually everything happened.
Which year you came?
I came in 2021, 1st of March. Yeah. So it's been like 4+ quick years.
Everything is going fast here. So what is the current service you're doing in ISKCON Mayapur?
So in ISKCON Mayapur, I have few responsibilities in managing a few things. There is a department called SRD, which is Seva Resource Development. I do service there. That department actually does the coordination of when new devotees come or when devotees want some kind of service. they approach this
Like
department.
screening and what people are
Yeah.
qualified, what they like to
Yeah,
do.
what are their
and-
qualification? Where will they fit? And if the departments have some requirements, say that hey, I want an accountant, I want a cook, I want a driver. So we try to identify some profiles which will suit. Sometimes they want Matajis to do some
Service.
kind of service. Sometimes sabji cutting,
Whatever.
whatever. So depending
Nice.
on what database we have about the existing devotees who are willing to do service and departments who want service, this we try to match, and we try to manage their maintenance, passing the maintenance and stuff like that.
Nice.
And people from outside ISKCON, if they want to do some service, we
Also,
register
they go
them.
through that.
They go through us. So this is one. Second is recently they gave me another service in the treasury, which is the managing the monies of ISKCON. And yeah, that's also.
What is the main source of funds? I may ask you. What is the main source of fund apart from donation from around the world for the TOVP? I know that the people are donating bricks, this, that, whatever it is.
There is no
But,
secrecy in this. You can ask because our book of accounts are published.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, you know it very well. You were the head of.
No, it's
so many
okay. But
things.
I've been for many years. I'm not connected anymore, so I'm just asking you from your
so
point of view.
There is donations, and then we have some money generating businesses. Like we have the Mahaprashadam stall, we have the guest house, we have paraphernalia shops, we have boundary wall shops. So things
From
like
that,
this. Yeah, there's Gita. And
Let me tell you that in 1982, 83, we were Mayapur. Nobody knew Mayapur, and we were only about 40, 50 devotees. So we are getting every month from Calcutta temple. The temple president used to give us 7,000 rupees.
7,000 rupees.
7,000 rupees per month.
Wow.
To eat. We can only eat khichdi with 7,000 rupees. Of course, at the time, 7,000 rupees. I mean, the rice maybe was 12 rupees. The potato were 50 paise. There were 3 rickshaws outside.
Okay.
There was no telephone, mobile. There was only one telephone with the temple president, Nitai Chand Maharaj, and there were not many houses. There was nothing. So, we used to struggle for the 7,000 rupees. We had to go to Calcutta and request the president, Adridananda, please, give us some money. We had to eat.
Yeah.
And then after many years, we got a bus, and I drove the bus for 6 months. We got a bus from Delhi, which was written Chapati Express. Then we canceled Chapati. We wrote Mayapur Express. And I drove the bus for 6 months. That time, the road was only 12 feet.
Oh, my God.
From Calcutta to Miami. It took us 3.5, 4, 5 hours. Because, two trucks come like this, you have to move on the side, otherwise you crash. And I drove it every Saturday and Sunday. We used to invite the life member for free. We give a speech inside the bus, and we tell them about Mayapur. So slowly like that. And then we got a few more buses, and people used to book it. So then, because outside of Calcutta, there's nothing. So Mayapur is a destination for something to see. Bengali people like to go let's go and see some place. They're very adventurous people. And then slowly, we start to grow. But in the beginning, it was very hard to live in Mayapur. There was nothing. It was all rice field everywhere. And these villagers, they scream to each other from 5 kilometers. Babu! And there were water pump, for the rice field. It was interesting. And now it's a big city with many houses. Now we grew up so much, but it's nice. So, but do we have financial stability?
Yes,
Okay,
we're very much stable.
No, I don't understand why we haven't built so many more guest houses, because we need guest houses. I've been asking for many, many years. I was in charge of the guest house when I was a deputy director, but I don't know what happened. But for some reason, they haven't. They're a little scared of what happened in between with different people. I understand, but there are many people who are responsible, and we can supervise them to do some project. So
I don't know why it did not come up. That I can't answer, but I can assure you that there are many plans which are there. Currently, we have about close to 700 rooms, which is available.
Yes,
with all the guest houses. And with TOVP slated to come up by 26-27, the kind of traffic of tourists is going to become 4x, 5x.
You have been in
of-
Tirupati. I feel like this place is becoming like Tirupati, where in the morning you want to go to Mongol Arti and you cannot enter because it's full of people. And there is every day 50,000 people and sometimes 100,000, 150,000. You see big line outside the Gada building
Yes.
for Prasadam. And so we had to do something fast. I mean,
It's
we
happening.
should build a minimum another 2,000 rooms.
I
Because
agree with
it's
you.
requirement,
I agree with you.
And it's now we're gonna lose money. I mean, you can make money.
Yes, of course.
Because you sell the room to life member.
Yes,
You know the schemes.
Yes.
So, but why? Because we have professional people from TOVP, we can appoint them to do such a project, which they are very transparent and stuff. But I don't know. It's up to you. Whatever.
It is happening for sure. It's happening for sure.
I hope it
So there
will
are so many
happen.
plans which is coming up. There are so many projects which have been announced. Already the drawings have been approved by the management and higher management of MEB, and then the architectural drawings have been approved. So it's all in place. It's just
Are we getting any help from the government?
For building guest houses?
I don't know, for anything,
Yes,
because
we're getting help for
the government is supposed to be helping us, and they're building the proper gut.
So that is about 16 crore rupees of government sanction comes through that Nawami Gange project,
Nice.
where Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is trying to revive ghats on the banks of famous rivers, Ganga being one of them. So Namami Gange is the theme, the project, and the government has sanctioned that ghat. So by the hard work of devotees here in the master plan and other management people, this has been sanctioned and they're working on it.
Because I was thinking also, if we build some dharmashala, for example, we have Nityananda, Kutir, and this 200 rupees, 300 rupees, whatever. We can definitely approach the government and say we want to build 1,000 rooms for simple people, charge 200 rupees a day, not big deal. I think they can sponsor.
It's all coming up.
It's all question of approaching properly with a proper structure, and I mean, we have an international name, and I don't think it should be difficult to achieve.
It's not that we don't have the resources. It's not that we don't have the talent to build it up. I think everything is there, but something does not come up. It is just Gauranga's mercy, his plan,
his own time.
He's taking his time.
So we just relax and wait.
I have understood that Mayapur is run directly by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay, great.
So he will manifest it when he wants it.
Wonderful. And now you're also teaching in some Bhakti Shastri course or something like that.
Yes, I do teach.
You have
online.
Classes every week, I believe, or every day?
There is a small Bhagavad Gita class which I run.
Small or big, but you're doing that.
For my own friends. I also formally
teach. You're doing Kannada language or in English?
It's in English.
It's in English.
English, Hindi, English, like that. And I formally teach through MI, and also there is this devotee called Padmamukha Nimai who runs a Chatushpati. Through his programs, I teach a little. I just recently finished my Bhakti Vaibhav, so maybe if there is an opportunity, I'll start teaching in teaching in the Mayapur Institute, maybe.
That's nice. So how important you feel is teaching or doing the Bhakti Shastri, for example, for devotee newcomers or devotee who want to be Krishna conscious?
It's very important. It's one of Prabhupada's primary dreams, which was stated so clearly. He actually gave the program for us. He even decided the kind of books which go into the program. Right? So if so much has thought of our Acharya has gone into it, then it is a primary responsibility of all people who call ourselves as Prabhupada Anuga or Rupa Anuga to fulfill that desire of Srila Prabhupada, regardless of what. Sometimes we might say we don't have the inclination to study Shastric studies. That's okay. You do it because the founder Acharya wanted you to do. He said, all of you have to study. All of you have to study. So I promised mentally to my Guru Maharaj, saying that whatever course is there, which is being offered by Mayapur Institute, I will take it till some life air is there in this body. I'll do something in terms of studying. So I intend to do that.
Nice.
But others also, I encourage people to take it up seriously because it is one of our dreams of our founder Acharya. What else as a reason do you want? It is Prabhupada's dream. That's it, full stop.
I think also that's the foundation of the Christian consciousness, that if you are connected with the Shastra, then you have proper understanding for everything,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
material nature is always changing, so many things happening, people this, that, whatever. But you will feel prepared to overcome any difficulty. Could you
Um,
say that?
no, see, I mean, I would like to answer it in a different way. When somebody does a course, they might do it for the sake of certificate, or they might like to do it for the sake of knowledge. But these courses are taught in such a way that you are able to read the scripture in a structured format. So it is more for your preaching and for your self application. There are different sections in which you learn, you apply it for your life, and you also use it for your preaching purposes. So all this, with all these courses, whether there's going to be any certificate or not, I'll assure you there'll be transformation. So transformation is a very integral part of such a course. So when you interact with the teachers have their own way of presenting. The co-students, they come up with realizations, which is going to sometimes very profound, and so it will definitely have an impact on your thought process and your purity. Sometimes I have had classmates who are so pure, and looking at them, you feel like, wow, this kind of purity can also be achieved. So you get inspired.
I think also because we are all different, so coming from different backgrounds, and maybe your devotion life started many life before. So once you reconnect, you go into a certain stage, and once you study, then you go deep in more in the realization.
Yes.
I met some small kids. Sometimes I took some guests to the Gurukul. So I say from the Gurukul at the time was running, just appoint some of your people to take us around and explain. So I go there and I find one 8 years old kid and say, yeah, Prabhu, I'll take you around. I say, okay. And he's explaining everything, and he's quoting Shastra and he's quoting Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And I said, wow, who is this kid? And then I was thinking, and this guy's more advanced than me for sure, because he's a small kid, but he knows more than me, and he's able to explain in a very comprehensive and logic way to adults. So, because the factor is that we're all coming from different,
Yes.
and maybe we interrupted for whatever reason our devotional life, but never lost. Whatever you do in devotional life, maybe not completed, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, then you pick it up next life.
Yes.
And so, it's an ongoing experience of devotion.
It's a hope-giving section of what Krishna says, Neha Vikramanashosti. Nothing gets lost. So when you hear that, you say, okay, I might have done some things which were good in the past, so that I got an opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, get introduced to Prabhupada's movement, see devotees who have dedicated their lives, stay in Mayapur. Stay in Mayapur is like
amazing thing.
And when I first said to one of my devotee friends that I bought a house in Mayapur, he had a wry smile on his face. He's like, I said, no, why are you smirking? I said, no, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that you can't own a single speck of dust in Mayapur, and you say that you own a house in Mayapur. That is when I understood that I have to change my sentence whenever I say. Whenever people ask me how long have I been staying in Mayapur, I always say Mahaprabhu has allowed me to stay from 2021 onwards.
Of course, that's correct.
So that is the understanding. So this opportunity which we have is
great,
immense,
amazing, wonderful. Okay, going back on the Shastra, and you understand the importance of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you elaborate some of the questions of the sages? For example, Naimisharanya, they ask, and if you want to go into a little bit of.
No, I mean it's like I know it's like it's an interesting topic. I don't remember all the questions, though I have certificate saying that I became Bhakti Vaibhav. I know.
I want to ask another question. You study in college and university, whatever, but when you want to get the job, did they tell you forget whatever you study. Now he has another things.
Yes,
Is it true?
It's true.
I also did the mechanic engineering, and that time that we learned to make bolts and nuts with a file, But now you want to get a job, they say, forget, we have a lathe machine. And now forget, we have an CNC machine, which is all computerized.
CNC,
So whatever you learn is like, forget it, man. This was old stuff.
I mean, you might say that, when we were growing up, they always said that, 10th standard is very important for you. And then they said, when you finish 10th standard, your life is set. Don't have to worry about anything else. And then they said, no, you finish your engineering, and after that, the life is set. And then they said, no, you just do MBA, and then after that, the life is set. And then you say, no, you get a job, your life is set. And then you say, no, you buy a house, then your life is set. Then you get married.
Keep on going.
So like that, this studies keeps on going. But everything which we do, even in engineering, if you go 2 + 2 is 4 only.
Of course.
It doesn't change.
The basic is,
So the kind of basics that we build through our interactions with devotees, regardless of how much you study, the interactions are going to be the basis.
Always,
books are the basis with devotees.
So how you find relating with devotees in your life? I mean, we have all different type of devotees, and we have all different character, all different type, shape, color, whatever you want to say. But of course, I think we should appreciate all of them for their trying. We're all trying to become a devotee. You will never find a devotee say, I did it. That's it. I am in love with God. And, you never find anyone like this. I haven't found anybody.
Yeah.
Although we see some people, they are like that. But how's you feeling this relationship with the devotee can expand our Krishna consciousness?
I believe that the relationship with the devotees is not the central thing. It is the only thing. Because
explain. Without devotee association, there is no spiritual life. There is no spiritual life.
I mean,
you can chant and you can read.
Chant.
Yeah.
But
it's not the same.
It's very difficult for one to be away from association and continue sadhana. There are so many examples of in the Shastras itself, in the Bhagavatam, that people who try to go away and stay alone.
Give us one example.
Great example of Bharat Maharaj himself is there, who's just a stage of bhava.
Yeah, he saw Krishna.
And when he went and stayed alone, a small little deer could captivate his mind, and he could completely give up his attention on pure devotion. Of course, this is all for us to teach us. Of course, Bharat Maharaj is a great devotee. I mean, can't compare him to anybody else. Or else he would not have been bestowed with the memory of his previous life while he was a deer. And then again being born as Jada Bharata, and then we know all how his conversation with Rahugana happened, etc., etc. So having said which, the example we cannot forget, that staying away from the devotee association is going to be very, very difficult for one person to carry on with their devotional life. Prabhupada made ISKCON so that devotees come together. Only in the collective strength of devotees can one progress. This is my firm belief, because when we travel out, when we go away from a devotee association, I don't know whether it happens with you or not. When I go in the flight, there is in-flight entertainment, and if nobody is around, there is some movie going on,
of course,
you'll catch up.
You watch some movie, yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
You will never do that when you are with devotees. Even if one devotee is sitting next to you, that effect of the devotee will make you choose something which is more sattvic. You might read from your phone, or you might read from your book or whatever, but you never switch on the in-flight entertainment. If a devotee is right next to you, just the presence of a devotee next to you can change your choices.
But let me ask a different question now. We can have a devotee association, but could be very external. Now, how deep you go in that association with the, I'm not saying with everybody. In Mayapur, there are 10,000 devotees, so naturally you cannot go deep with 10,000 people. But with few people, you can go deep in that relationship or understanding or expressing your mind, being like a close friend where you reveal. Because Prabhupada say everybody needs to have a friend,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, today one devotee commits suicide.
Yes, I know.
You know. So my point, I was telling my wife, in Italy, in everywhere in the world, there is billboard. You have any mental problem, any issue, any depression, contact this number.
Mm.
Jesus will help you. Whatever, I mean.
Mm.
But I said, we don't have such a system. Why? We have devotee care.
Yes.
I just saw yesterday there is an office, devotee care.
Yeah.
But how are they willing to listen to anybody who has a problem? How are they willing to help somebody's problem? I don't know. Because we as an organization, I feel, being the world headquarters, we should provide, and not say billboard. Everybody should know that somebody has a problem. Phone this number. At least somebody will listen to you.
Mm.
And maybe I'm not able to give you the best because I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but maybe I can connect you with somebody who can help you.
Mm.
If I say, I feel depressed, I feel a jump inside the Ganga, or I feel like my wife is gone away, whatever happened, sometimes we can become disturbed to the point that we lose hope.
Yeah.
So we should have a system. I was feeling. I was discussing this today with my wife.
I agree. We must have a system. My observation, I might be wrong, but my observation is this, that Mayapur is completely a different setup than any other place of ISKCON in the world.
Of course.
Why? All other places, there is a temple which is supported by Grihasthas, run by the Brahmacharis, run by the management. Grihasthas are outside. And then they go to the temple and they come back. Service, they have their other services. They offer services and come back. Here, devotees have come lock, stock and barrel, leaving everything else, staying here. Good. They're doing services. Good. But that association of devotees is a small circle, and sometimes that circle is missing. Yes. Outside in Dubai, we had these Bhakti Vrikshas. There used to be a leader who used to take care of your needs. Personally counsel you if there is requirement. There were always used to be some friends who you meet in the congregation on a Sunday or a Friday, whatever that day is. So we used to reveal our hearts to those devotees, and then there could be some reciprocation, some counseling that used to happen. But Mayapur is such a place that we don't have a system because of the intricate nature of Mayapur. That devotees are living here as practitioners disconnected from a particular congregation.
Not only that, I also say that they're struggling to survive because now in Dubai you had a job, and you have a house, and you have a wife, and your material needs are taken care of.
Yes.
Now just imagine this devotee from wherever they're coming, Russia or Africa, or from all over the world. They come in my way. They feel like, okay, I'm going to do service, and they're gonna give me some food and some place to live. I don't want a palace. I don't want a room or something. I mean, originally it was like that, but now I don't know, because many devotees, they can't find a place to live, or it's very expensive.
Yes.
I know there is some Russian Mataji, they have only one bulb in a room because she said, I don't have money to pay the electricity. And she's doing service for the deity, wherever, making garlands, but I don't know. So it's sometimes we have to look from it's not a criticism, I'm just saying we have to look from the point of view, how can we help the devotee to survive? Because, okay, number one, this foreign devotee, they had to go out of the country, get their visa, flying somewhere. The kids had to go to school. I don't say they want air condition, but they want to survive. And sometimes it's very difficult for people who come with stock and barrel with nothing.
Yes.
And say, okay, I'm here to serve.
So
before, I'm telling you, in the original time when I was here, with my wife, we used to live next to the big kitchen. Now it's a Brahmachari ashram. We used to live, all the Grihastha used to live there.
Yeah, I've heard
about
of that.
6-7 Grihastha. and with our kids. And their kids are hungry, they go to the big kitchen, they'll give them some kitchen, no problem. And we're doing service. They give us some soap, some toothpaste in the end of the month. We don't have money. We don't need money. But then at one point they said, no, you go out. We want to transform this. Okay, where we go? For the last 20 years, 30 years, we're serving ISKCON. So we have no money. Then we were forced out to find a place to rent. And then the whole thing started. And that's history.
Unfortunately, that is a situation that, people come here without planning. I'm not saying, of course, see, there are two different ways of looking at it. One is to completely come with confidence on Gauranga's mercy.
Sure.
If you are in that mood, you have to maintain that mood regardless of what comes your way. But if you want to come with planning, it's better encouraged.
Of course.
You come planning your finances, plan your service, plan the education of your children, plan for your medical. All this is required. So Prabhupada always said that you have to depend on Krishna, and many times you have to use your intelligence also.
Sure.
So without planning, it sometimes puts devotees into difficulty, and because we don't have a system per se to support.
Why don't we have a system? And that's my asking.
Yeah, we should have a system.
Because it's not that we don't have money, it's not that we don't have influence, it's not we cannot create some business for service where people can live ordinary life. How much you spend per month? 30,000 rupees?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so if maybe you need 30,000 plus a rent for the house, 7,000 rupees, whatever, I'm saying. But why we cannot create a place where people can honestly render service and maintain their family? Because otherwise, what? What if somebody was a brahmachari like me for 10 years, then you get married, then I was temple president, fine. But then I moved, they call me Mayapur, come, we'll give you everything. And then at one point they throw you in the road. Then what you do, okay. But definitely I was surrendered to Lord Chaitanya. I have a house, I have a motorbike, I have everything. Lord Chaitanya give me everything. But I'm just saying that, as an organization, we should grow as well.
Yes.
And we should come to the point of saying, okay, there are 10,000, 350 brahmachari and 750 grihastha. Let's engage this grihastha in doing something which can contribute to the organization. Can be farming, can be mechanical, can be whatever it is, construction. Why we cannot do that? Because you need some leadership to think that this is what's necessary now. If Prabhupada said 50,000 people will live here, how, what, from where, and how these people will live? Because we find so many, outstanding, difficult, unsurmountable things which we cannot understand. So, of course, leadership is necessary. So
there is some thought process going in that direction, but it's like ISKCON is like a big white elephant. In order to move, make some policies and things like that, it's like it takes time.
Sure.
Because every thought process has to go through some rigor, some approvals, and then higher approvals, and etc. But the thought process is there in that direction. It might take some time as per.
Because you see, I was in Chennai and I got some friends who stay in Pondicherry as well, which is they have also a similar organization like ours. It's called, what is it called?
Auroville.
It's
not similar organization like ours.
No, it's similar in some way and different in other. They're organized EP society, I would call it. But they're organized.
Yes.
And they go...
Terribly organized.
Terribly organized. Their factory who are making solar panel, electric bike. There's some business people who advise them and say, okay, these people are here and make some business by which people can be retributed. But they're very organized. And also,
did you go stay there?
I did stay there. There is one Prabhupada disciple, Mr. Maysour. His name is Ramakrishna Das, which Prabhupada personally appointed him sometime in Vrindavan as a temple president, and he's still there. He was a Punjabi. He's a Punjabi. And he had a big factory there in Chennai. We built the chariot for the Jagannath temple. Many things.
Auroville is a closed economy. As in, what they do is that they don't have any currency. They don't. The external currency doesn't work.
Amazing.
They have their own internal.
It's amazing. You have a card.
You have a card, and
so you can go and buy everything with a card.
Everything inside, nothing outside.
Yeah.
So this kind of a closed community that you have, That is why I said it's very different, because we are connected to the world outside and we deal in this such a way. This is how it was designed. It's not an apple to apple comparison. Auroville
No.
is a completely different economy.
But they're manufacturing a lot of things.
Yes, yes.
Soap, incense, which are worldwide
Yes.
known.
Yes.
Plus, they get support of the government as well.
Yeah.
There's some government people appointed there to supervise everything. Anyway, I'm just saying
Prabhupada also asked us to manufacture a few things. I think if we start doing those activities, then probably we'll have higher success.
Yes.
He has asked us to make saris, weave saris,
Tick tock, tick
yeah.
tock. The machines.
give employment to the locals, make the saris, and you can weave. He said that, and he asked us to make wooden toys. These are the two, and mridangas and instruments. He said we can ship it to the entire world. This we are not doing.
Well, that's on the audit they're doing.
No, one devotee, but as an organization, we are not doing.
Yeah.
So as an organization, if we start doing in this direction, probably we'll find a higher success, because this is the words of our own Acharya.
Mhm.
So once we start doing what exactly he has asked us to do,
Yeah.
probably everything else will manifest.
Sure. It's interesting, yeah. So anyway, we'll eventually reach wherever we want to reach if we want to follow the Acharya.
Of course.
And so it's very nice. Okay, you want to tell us something more about your experience in Mayapur?
Mayapur experience is wonderful. I used to get attracted to the Hathi festival, or the Hathi procession, we call it. It's Radha Madhav Shobha Yatra.
Yes.
That is one thing which I missed last year.
Yeah.
After the two elephants left.
Yeah.
And so, because every Saturday we used to wait for this particular program, and then we used to give some bhoga to Radha Madhav and also to the elephants.
Yeah.
So this time we missed that. So that is one thing I think is has changed something, which is very not so very happy change in Mayapur. But I was requesting the management to reconsider. So they're looking at possibly getting the elephants back. So that if that happens, it's going to be very, very wonderful. So Mayapur for me is like a melting pot of all festivals. There has never
one
been
after
a
another,
day
one after another.
one after other. So how these 4 years have just passed by, can't imagine. This one festival and then gets over, and we are waiting for the next one, preparing for the next one, and then that's your life goes on. That's
another question I want to ask you is about how you envision the TOVP opening and what will be the logistical changes in our management or in our infrastructure or in our, because everything I think will change, once the temple become functional.
Yes. So
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. It's going to be, of course, there's going to be a completely different way of operating the entire temple. TOAP is, by Krishna's mercy, by Prabhupada's blessings, is going to be open by starting from October 26 to March 27. This is the dream that we all are running towards. And so this is going to be probably a 6-month transition from this temple to that. In my understanding, they will start with Narasimha first and then slowly Radha Madhav and then Panchatattva.
I think we should shift all the DD at one shot.
I don't know.
It will take 1 month. I know that, because just imagine, you cannot just open one portion of the temple
No.
and then the temple there, off here, off there. So you have to shift all the DD. It maybe take 1 month, but no, it doesn't take so much time. Once the temple is ready, I propose that we can shift the DD.
I'm not completely aware of it, not involved in it at this point in time. I just know that it's going to take some time.
Of course.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Not overnight.
Rome was not built in a day.
But in 1 week, we can shift all the DD for
Probably,
sure.
I don't know.
The Stapadi, they offer themselves to come and shift the DD. The Stapadi who make the Panchatattva. And the Radha Madhav, they were made in Jaipur, and I think we can pretty much safely shift them, no problem.
Yes, they're probably, it's going to be a very, very happy move. Because
Yes.
Prabhupada wanted that temple to be there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has
Absolutely.
envisioned the temple, so it is our parampara temple. We're making, or we're in the middle of the history being made, and if we are lucky enough, we'll see.
Sure, we should be able to see. So, VrajaVinod Prabhu, I would like you, because our time is running short, what is the message you would like to give to the audience which are listening to us today for our podcast?
Message you did not ask me to prepare
No, it
for.
doesn't matter. What from your heart?
I think all of us who are in Mayapur are listening to this or outside. If,
All over the world,
all over the
listening.
world, if at all we are serious about being purely Krishna conscious and trying to please Prabhupada, if we are sincere in all our attempts, in whatever walks of life we are in, if we are able to muster that sincerity, um, like as though there is no other person looking towards you, if you're working like only Krishna is looking at you, and you're bringing that sincerity, I think everything is going to be fantastic, and Prabhupada will be pleased. And if Prabhupada is pleased, that's the success
Ultimate
of your life.
success of our life. All right.
Prabhupada and Guru and Gauranga.
Thank you so much for coming today and being with us with the Radio Mayapur.
Thank you.
Our studio is open to you, and to, if anytime you want to do a presentation or you like to send a message through YouTube, make a short video, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ganga Prabhu. You've been an inspiration to all of us. So
I'm gaining inspiration from you.
No.
I'm just an old man. I've been here a long time, but I'm getting inspiration from seeing the young people, qualified people like you, who are sticking to this and they are continuing their devotional life and inspiring us.
Thank you very much, Ganga Prabhu, for this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.